Come on in, come on in, come on in. I hope that y'all are well. Let's see this. Put a one in the comments if you can hear me clearly. Please. I don't think this uploaded. No. And let me know where you're watching from. I'm trying to see if I don't think it did. Hold on. Let me know in the comments where you are watching from. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Emotional Intelligence for Women Leaders. Today we're talking about how control actually is not power, it's exhaustion in disguise. Okay? Real power doesn't chase, force, or micromanage. So we're going to get into that today. Hey, Marilyn. I miss being in the DMV. I need to make another trip. Yes, come on, UK. I love it. I love it. Hi, let me know where you're watching from. Drop a purple heart in the comments for me as my iPad catches up. I don't know why it's taking forever to catch up to what's on my notes. Come on. I'm gonna have to copy and paste it. I hate that. Don't forget to let me know where you're watching from. For those who do not know who I am, my name is L. Antoinette. I am a mentor to women of wealth. I was going to say feminine sure. I am a mentor to women of wealth and influence. And so we're gonna be diving deep today. Hey Baton Rouge. Hey Atlanta. I love listening to my course videos from you and then hopping into your lives. Yes, girl, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I love it. You get the double work. Let me know where you are watching from. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Today we're talking about how control is not power. Okay? It is actually exhaustion because real power does not chase, force, or micromanage. Hey, Dallas. Okay. All right. I think I got us good. All right. Now I have everything on here. I'm actually in the training myself. I need to skip this. Is very important. Yes. Come on in. Come on in. And also make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel because all those videos and things will be put over there. This is going to be put over there as well. And it's going to replay tonight. Okay. So, again, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a mentor to women of wealth and influence. And what I do is that I mentor high caliber women to master wealth, influence, and feminine power without actually having to burn themselves out. I have a lot of receipts when it comes down to my name. I have supported over 100, more than 100 women in being able to make more money, get healthier, and just elevate and master their emotions the way that they need to. And so today specifically, we're going to talk about how control is not power, how it's really exhaustion in disguise and real power. And that's because real power doesn't chase, force, or micromanage. When you are planting a seed, you're not standing over the seed and watering the seed and saying, hey, hurry up and become a fruit. That's not what you're doing. Okay. You're actually dropping the seed and you're detaching from the process. And the problem is a lot of people tend to struggle with that. Hey, my love. And that's because a lot of women like to be in control because it almost puts them in position to where they feel like they can brace for impact. They can brace for whatever they feel like is coming. So they want to know what's going on. They want to apply pressure. They want to try to control scenarios. And it's really, really damaging because you're not really in control and you have no real power, which is why when you try to hold on to something so tight, it almost rips itself away from you. Okay. When it comes down to money, when it comes down to relationships, when it comes down to anything, it just doesn't seem like the opportunities that you are wanting are coming into your space. And that's because you're trying to chase them, you're trying to force them, and you're trying to micromanage the process. And it doesn't work that way. And so I'm going to support you with that. Okay. So the first thing there we're going to get into is that we're going to talk about performance versus precision, which is two different things. We're going to get into what control is actually costing you. I'm going to talk about specifically what it takes for you to be able to shift, and then I'm going to talk about the consequences if you don't shift. Um, at the end of the day, we all have free will and we have decisions and choices to make. And if you choose not to position yourself to be well, then that's just going to be your choice. It's not going to be because you did not know what was going on. And a lot of women, like I said, try to control scenarios. They try to control relationships. They try to control narratives. They try to control a whole bunch of different things instead of actually focusing on controlling self. Self control is the only fruit of the spirit that deals with control. It does not say you're going to control over anybody else. Okay? The control you need to have is over self. So that's what's really important and we need to grasp, okay? But let's go ahead and get straight into it. Control is not power. Okay. It is exhaustion in disguise. It is exhausting trying to control every single scenario in your life. It is exhausting not allowing situations to just be and experiences to just be. And I'm not talking about you sitting around in a situationship. Please don't get that confused because that is not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that stop trying to be in scenarios and control things because control is not power, it's fear. It's fear. That's the first thing you need to know. Control is not power, it's fear. It's exhaustion. It's literally your nervous system in a state where it's consistently trying to feel safe through overperformance. And it's draining you. You are overperforming when you're working in business, you are overperforming with that man. You are overperforming when it comes down to your family. You are doing all of these things, and nobody seems to show up for you because just because you are the one or the daughter that they don't have to worry about, nobody really checks in with you to see if you really need anything because you're the one that they don't really have to worry about. And if you are that daughter, then you need to be top priority worried about yourself. See, the problem is women who get in that state, they get really frustrated because they're like, nobody cares. I support everyone. I do this and I do that. Yeah, you're supporting everybody but yourself. If you are the daughter that your family and your parents don't really have to worry about, so they don't check on you the most, and they don't do these things, you know very well, just because you wear it well, just because it looks like it's not heavy, does not mean that it's not weighing you down. So you have to start making yourself top priority because overperforming and showing up for people, despite how you feel and how stressed out you are not going to be appreciated for that. You are not going to get a badge of honor for that. You are going to end up scorned if you keep doing that. You're going to end up drained if you continue to do that because whether you realize it or not, you are keeping a record. Thank you, my love. You are keeping a record of the times that you were going out here sick. You were going out here supporting people while you sick, while you drained and this and that. You know why you keep a memory of that? Do you know why that comes up with people? When they, get frustrated finally and they get in a space to where they are, thank you, my love, for these gifts. And they get in a space to where they're finally like, you know what? You haven't been there for me. I've been doing this. I've been doing that. I've been doing this. And then the person is looking at you like, have you been keeping, you've been checking boxes. It's not that you've been checking boxes consciously, but you have been checking boxes unconsciously. And this is how you are unconsciously checking these boxes. The reason why your memories, the bad memories that you have, or the frustrating memories that you have, are so clear and so visible and just so like lucid to you is because you had an emotional reaction to those things. You being sick and choosing to still step out and support somebody, you're not going to forget that because why? You're sick. So you're going to go back to that emotional time when you were not well and you chose to show up for somebody. Now, you're not going to say, this whole, oh, well, I showed up for you. You're not going to say I chose to show up for you. You're just going to be like, I was there for you and I gave you my last and I did this and I did that and I did all of these different type of things. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. If I did all of these type of things for you, it's because you have an emotional attachment to that memory. You have an emotional attachment to that memory. This is why when you are not at your best, you should not be trying to show up for people in the name of being a good person. You're not being a good person. You're not. You're not being a good person because you're not being a good person to yourself to even honor your well being, to not show up when you're not at your best. It doesn't make you look like a really good friend because you showed up when you were sick. I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and you still showing up. If you know you're not going to be in the right energy, why are you even going into those spaces trying to force an experience and then get pissed off when you don't get appreciated for it? Why are you there? Energetically, you're not there anyway. Hell, probably mentally, you're not there anyway. Your body is just sitting there. Hey, my love, your body is just sitting there, but you're not really present. But you want to control the narrative to make it seem like you are this type of person. Again, it goes back to control. Control is not power. It's exhausting. It's exhausting wearing a mask that you can sit there and be comfortable in your support of this person when in reality, you're not at your best self. You're not at your best self. You're doing yourself a disservice. You're doing yourself a disservice. In the name of supposedly being a good friend and being a good person, you ain't, because you ain't being good to yourself. And if you ain't being good to yourself, there's no possible way for you to be good to anyone else. And you do this because you feel like you have to do it. Exactly. You do it because you've been told that that's what you need to do. That's been your programming. But how about that's a lie and it's not true? How about that's a lie and it's not true? Control is not power, it's fear. Well, what is the fear behind it? It's the fear of them feeling like and saying you're not a good friend. Some of y'all let men tell y'all anything. Y'all let men get y'all real confused by calling you selfish. I remember one time I was going to do something and I said I wanted this, and the man was like, I just think, you just can be so selfish. And in my mind, I'm like, yeah, here you are in my face, but I'm selfish. And there's nothing wrong with being selfish, because to be selfish means that you are prioritizing self. To be self centered is the problem because you think the entire world revolves around you. See, ain't nobody my sun, moon, stars. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody. Nobody. Received a full-time offer for the most I've ever had. Can't wait to get the masterclass after. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, congratulations to you. Oh my God, congratulations. And I will see you in class. Okay? All this overperforming, y'all, that you're doing to try to please your family, to try to please men, to try to please people in the name of being a good Christian, a good friend, a good daughter, a good girl. That good girl programming is ruining y'all. And it's why you're not getting the things that you want. The Most High never even told you to be a good person. You're called to be just. See, y'all don't be reading. You're called to be just. And that's what you're not paying attention to. Goodness is a fruit. Okay? But to be good, because the perception is being good is to obey humans, to obey the program that they believe that you need to be under, which means you need to be doing the things that they are thinking that you should be doing. And that's not what this is. Stop trying to control the narrative so you don't look bad to other people. Stop caring about how you look to other people and start caring about how you are to yourself. Because that should be primary. Some of y'all need to be a lot more selfish, because the truth is, let me tell you what's real. A lot of y'all need to be more selfish because a lot of you are already self-centered. See, you think the entire world revolves around you. You think people making statuses about you. You think that people are talking about you who not even thinking about you. You take everything personal. See, that's a self-centered person. Y'all got that real confused. You think everything revolves around you. You think everything revolves around you, and it's not the case at all. Nothing revolves around you. It's okay to be selfish, meaning to be about self and to prioritize well-being, prioritize your spirituality, your mental health, your emotional health, your physical health, your social health, your financial health. Those things should be top priority before you even talk about seeing somebody else. Even in a friendship, See, some of y'all are even lazy when you try to control your. A lot of women will try to do things like control their friendships by only picking people around them that don't have as much as them, or who are not as smart as them, or who are not as pretty as them. See, in order to control the narrative of you being an it girl instead of you actually stepping into the energy of yourself so that people clearly can see that you are it. Control is not power. It's exhausting. It's draining because it requires you to overperform, which literally goes against your DNA as a woman. Same Misty. I'm understand. I don't like being the smartest woman in the room. I don't care about any of that. Put me in a room where I could learn, where I could be challenged. See, my friends, and I was just having this conversation yesterday with one of my friends. One thing about me, I don't keep people around me who can't tell me the truth about me. See, I understand how powerful I am, but I also need people around me who are not scared to tell me, hey, that's not. I don't keep anyone around me that's a yes man or a yes woman. See, that is how when that's how you end up in scenarios where people aid you in your vices, in your violence, in your foolishness, and which positions you to continue to miss the mark, which is to sin. That's what sin means, to miss the mark. I don't keep people around me who's scared to check me. This ain't that. And see, some people build communities based around so they can be the one that's worshiped. This is not that. I don't need to control anything but self. That is what scripture tells me. That is the spiritual fruit that I self-control. I'm not interested in controlling anyone else because the truth is I have no control over you anyway. And trying to control you is going to weaken me so much to where I become powerless. And why would I shake my power to try to control you when you're going to do what you want to do anyway? That's ridiculous. Overperformance is draining you because you're up here trying to perform to prove to somebody that you were this and you were that when you simply could just be yourself. Either they're going to accept you or they will not. Feminine women should be able to receive, release, and reject. If you are a woman who constantly always wants to receive, always wants to, if you can't take rejection, then you don't know how to accept. You need to understand that both of them are required. You ain't going to be able to take one without the other. And I know a lot of you like to think that. A lot of women struggle with rejection. You take it personal because you are self-centered. You think everything revolves around you. He don't want me. And you take it personal that he don't want to marry you when you don't even know if this person is even the person you should even be dealing with or being with. But here you are taking it personal that this person don't want you. You don't understand a lot of times rejection is protection. You're not grown enough to have that conversation, but you're grown enough to lay down and want to control other people. That's not how this goes. You're going to have to make it make sense. If we're going to be grown in one area, let's be grown all the way across the board. Don't nobody want to be grown for real until it's time to just go to bed. Now y'all want to, it's real grown in that aspect, but you don't want to be grown enough to be, to allow it. Like, we ain't going to do that. If you're always chasing, if you're always forcing, if you're always managing every single thing and everyone, let's just go ahead and be honest. You are not in your power. You are just in survival mode. You really outsourcing your power, which is a form of witchcraft. That's actually witchcraft. If people would be honest, it is. Trying to control other people is witchcraft. Why do you think of all things that the Most High will not do, the Most High will not change your mind? The Most High can change your circumstance, can shift everything, but would not change your mind, would not force you to choose the Most High. Everything I give you going to come from scripture, science, and psychology, by the way. So the thing is, thank you for these likes, follows, and comments. The thing is while you're trying to position yourself to control everything, you're going to lose everything. That's damaging and that's dangerous. The only thing you have power over is yourself. You're not in power if you're trying to control and force and micromanage everything. You in survival mode because you're scared you're going to lose it. See, that's what people do when they're scared they're going to lose it. They harp on it. Let me tell you something. If you ever wanted to repel something from your life, I'm finna give you the best way to do it. If you ever want to become a repellent to money, to the actual person that you really want, to love, to all of these things, all you have to do is spend all day thinking about it. All you have to do is spend all your time, your energy, your attention focused in and zoned in on that very thing. You will become a repellent to that very thing because you will start becoming obsessive. See? And when you become obsessive, that's how you go into stalker mode. See, y'all really be 1, 2 steps up from being a stalker and don't even know it. Y'all be 1 and 2 steps up from being a stalker. Y'all think y'all so much better. A lot of women think they're so much better. But baby, just because you're not hiding out somebody's house, you stalking that girl Facebook page and her social media, you're stalking. And then you got to get a fake account so you can go and look. All that overperforming, all that time, hold tight. Because, I be hearing people talk about they be creating fake accounts to spy on people. Hold tight for 2 seconds. Let me just digest this for a second. You mean to tell me all these ways that you can make money online? See, let me tell you something. If you got time to stalk somebody, your bank account better be hidden. Your bank account better be hidden. If you got time to make a fake account and stalk somebody else's account, I'm talking about you could have took that time and did something to create something and made some money. Y'all got time to stalk. And then being out here talking about you ain't got no money, and then you out here looking for men to give you money, but you got time to stalk. You got energy. I don't have time to take care of myself, but you got energy to make a fake page and watch that girl that your man looking at. Please don't piss me off. See, this is what I be talking about. You're so self-centered. You think everything revolves around you. You take what other people do personally. The problem is the person is a cheater you dealing with, sweetheart. They're a cheater. And you don't like cheaters, right? So the problem is you won't leave the cheater alone. Instead of you taking the cheating personal, you trying to change and alter who you are instead of actually switching positions, as in getting up out of there. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes and these comments. You're not doing that. But you got time to stalk every person. But then you ain't got no money. Drop a purple heart in the comments to let me know that you're present. Okay? Thank you, my love, for these likes and these gifts. Y'all, please, control is not power. It is literally exhaustion in disguise. Real power does not chase. It does not force, nor does it micromanage anyone nor any form of an experience. Okay? So let's get into power, performance versus precision. Thank you so much for these hearts and these likes and these gifts. Okay? So let's get into performance versus precision. The unspoken trap of women who have, achieved things, women who are high performing, women who have gotten their education and done all these great things. Let's talk about the trap that a lot of you are in, because this is a really huge trap. Performance versus precision. Control looks like always needing to be the one that holds it together. You the one that hold the family down. So y'all took that cycle breaker a little, y'all took it too heavy. Y'all took the process of breaking cycles and made it into an identity. And it is cooking you. It is frying you, and you are burning up because of it. You have put that title on your back, and you have made it, and you slick have put yourself under a spell of thinking that you are the one, you are the magic one that needs to fix everyone's problem. You are the one everyone is depending on, and you are putting all this unnecessary pressure on self, and you're trying to control everything else when you have no control of self. No control of self. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Always needing to be the one that holds everything together. Constantly fixing, solving, and micromanaging. Always mistaking busyness for leadership. These are the things that performing looks like. That's what performing is. Performing is always needing to be the one to hold it together. Performing is constantly fixing and solving and micromanaging. Baby, somebody come tell you a problem, and here you go end up digging in your bags like your name Badu and you the bag lady. You just start getting bags and picking up their bags, and then you want to get pissed off when they treat you like environmental services. See, now you want to be upset when they treat you like you the cleanup lady. You want to be mad when that's a position you volunteer for. And 9 times out of 10, you volunteer to not even be paid for that position. That's a position you chose. Just because somebody is telling you a scenario does not mean that you come in with solutions. Little miss, I got all the answers. See, that comes from you raising your hand and being the one to fix everyone's problem in your family. So now you're picking up the pieces of everyone else's life. You're the one that's holding it down. Child, please. Please. Where has that gotten you? Where has that gotten you? Where has all that performing gotten you? And I always talk about it all the time, but the perfect person to use as an example of this is always going to be Terry from Soul Food. I know that's y'all, the hood classic. When you really look at that movie, you see Big Mama who is broken down, probably due to performance. And then you see Terry, the daughter right after that. You got Terry. And I think Terry was the oldest. You got Terry who got the money. You got Terry who breaking cycles. You got Terry who paying everybody bills. You got Terry who was out here bailing folks out of jail. You got Terry doing volunteer to let the whole cousin stay in the house. Let me tell you something. Terry had it hard. And Terry still would not leave her family alone. She had to be the one to hold it down. She had to be the one to fix the problems. She was micromanaging all the money and everything. She was fixing and solving. And nobody showed her any form of appreciation. She didn't pay for Bird Beauty Shop. She done got her Bird husband out of jail. Baby, they going off on her at the dinner table. See, a lot of y'all are the Terrys from Soul Food of your family, trying to control everything else but yourself. Terry had no control over herself, which is why y'all know why Terry really crashed out in that kitchen with that knife? You know why she really crashed out in that kitchen with that knife? It wasn't just because of Faith. Faith was that whole thing with her husband knocking Faith down. That was the icing on the cake. That was the cherry on top, really. The icing that already laid. That was the cherry on top. She was tired of everybody. She looking at her sister dancing on the floor with her boyfriend that her sister stole when they was teenagers. Now how Big Mama let that go down is beyond me. How Big Mama let that go down is beyond me. And I'm pretty sure that probably put a rift in between Terry and Big Mama's relationship too. Because ain't no way that should have went down the way that went down with them two girls in the same house like that. So now we have a relationship with the mother that's a bit fractured because you didn't really keep that together. Then I got my sister over here with the man that I wonder if we would have did that. And I want to say, even in that kitchen, she said, I often think about what if. Baby, Terry snapped because of everything. Sister installed her mama relationship. Sister installed her boyfriend. She giving out all her money to her family. She paying all the doggone bills. She's the one that broke all the cycles. Everyone is depending on her. I think she even paid for Bird wedding, if I'm not mistaken. Then turn around getting this man out of jail. She did all, and then let her family convince her to let this girl come stay in her house when nobody else would let her come stay. Terry was so disconnected, she was so disconnected from herself that she was trying to get love from everybody else. She was trying to outsource her own love, her power. She was using her resources, hoping to get a return, and she was not getting anything. And that's what a lot of women are doing. You are out here doing things, hoping that people are going to appreciate you when they're not. And then you saying, I want to be with somebody who's masculine. You're the masculine one. See, problem solving, quick solutions, operating from that type of energy is masculine. Men like to solve problems immediately. They love it, actually. They love to do these things. So you coming in, and let's talk about it just from an energetic space. Women tend to think masculine and feminine from just the, appearance wise. You can be a very pretty woman that's dressed immaculately and appear to be very feminine, but you're energetically, you're very masculine. And here's the thing, that's no problem if you're okay with that, and if you're okay with the response that you get, because energetically you are only going to call in the opposite in that aspect. Polarity doesn't lie. If there's a north, there's gonna be south. Okay? If there is right, there's going to be wrong. Hey, love. So the thing is if you don't pay attention to your own polarity, the energy that you bring off, you don't know the energy that you are calling in. So a lot of you don't understand why you keep calling in men who may be a little bit more on the feminine side of things and how they handle things. They may appear just like yourself. They appear very masculine. They appear that way. But when you interact with them, the energy that they give you is on the opposite side of that. And you're trying to understand why you keep calling that in, but you're not realizing that there's always going to be polarity. So, whatever energy that you choose to be dominant in, or that you are dominant in, you are going to attract the polar opposite of that. There is no way around it. It's science, y'all. Everything I give you going to come from scripture, science, and psychology. That is literal science. And honestly, that's spiritual too, because it's law. It's the law of polarity. There's only going to be, there's two poles. North is going to be south. East is going to be west. Feminine is going to be masculine. Okay? There's no way around it. No way around it. So if you are given the energy of the one who has it all together, the problem solving, all of that, you are going to attract people who want to be taken care of, who want to be covered, who want to be kept. And the women who are operating from the energy of wanting to be kept and wanting structure and wanting order and wanting direction, those are the ones who are going to attract the masculine. And that can be on either side. If you have a man who is solely in his complete creative, he's not at all very structured, he's not direction oriented, he's not that thing. He's more so in his feminine. He's more so in the energy of feminine. So because he does not have the structure and the foundation to fund his creativity, while just being solely in his creative energy, he's going to be seeking someone that has the stability, the structure, the direction that he can follow. And it is the exact same way when it comes down to women. You have to understand that this is science, this is energetics. The energy never lies. Spiritually, you always tell on yourself. And women really think, I don't care how much makeup you put on, I don't care how many bodycon dresses you go, I don't care how much work you get done, I don't care what you do to look like the most feminine woman in the world. Your spirit and your energy gonna always be red. Every single time. You're not above the program. You're not bigger than spiritual law, and you never will be. There is a law of polarity, and you can't go around that. There's no way for you to go around the Most High's law. Ain't no way for you to do it. Period. You can believe what you want, but I'm telling you, you're not above the program, sweetheart, and you're never gonna be. Okay? So always needing to be the one to hold it together, always fixing, solving, micromanaging, making busyness or mistaking busyness for leadership or productivity. These things are going to call in a softer energy on the opposite end of those things. If that's who you are, that's why you keep calling that in. Truthfully, that's why. And it's a form of control. It's not even real power, because let's get into the space of power. Okay? Hold that question for me, Mel. I'm going to answer. Don't let me forget it either. But I'm going to come back and I'm going to answer that. Real power looks like precision. Real power looks like calm. Real power looks like knowing when to lean in and when to lean back. And that's more what Melissa is asking. Knowing when to lean in and knowing when to lean back. For example, for myself, me operating in business, I'm very balanced, both left brain and right brain energy. Left brain energy is more of the masculine energy. It is more of and this is where it gets confusing, because I had a young lady to come in my lab one day, and she said this, but she didn't finish it. And I wanted her to finish it so I could explain it. There are some people who are out here teaching that the left side is the feminine side. There are some out here teaching that the right side is the masculine side. That's partially correct and partially incorrect. So let me explain. When we're talking about brain specifically, right? Left brain is the masculine. That is your action taking, that is your linguistics, that is your language processing, that is all of that over there. Action taking, decision making, all that's happening on the left side of your brain. The left side of your brain controls the right side of your body. So the right side of your body is the masculine, what people would consider to be the masculine side. And the right brain, which is the creative aspect, it is your nurturing, it is your feelings, it is intuition, it's all of those things, controls the aspect of the left side of the body. That is where the confusion is for some people. So if people are teaching, and you can go and look these things up for yourself. When people tell you things, be sure that you go and you dissect them. The Most High is such an amazing genius that even that even works when it comes down to your eyes and your nose. Left nostril, okay, right brain, right nostril, left brain. See, we don't even understand how exactly we're cross-wired. We don't even understand how deeply designed that we are. We don't even know how deeply designed we truly, truly are. There are thousands upon thousands of processes working within your body within seconds, minutes, just so you can be able to breathe. All the things that we are not conscious of, we are constantly moving. That's why the law of vibration states that everything is always vibrating. There's something always moving, always vibrating. There's always a vibration. Okay. So again, understand that there is a huge difference between power and control. And the big thing about that is knowing when to lean in. And I was talking about business. No, I know when to lean into my feminine aspect of self, which is where I live, really. I used to live a lot in my left brain. My energy used to be extremely dominantly masculine for years. I am the oldest daughter. So that number one is hits you right there so you get to understand I'm the oldest daughter. I'm the first one to go and get my 4-year degree. I am the first one with a master's. I am the first one to create a business. I am the first one to hit 6 figures in my business. So achievement is your girl, okay? And achievement is very much so masculine, but I was raised more so to achieve. I had to learn after being burnout, after getting sick, after being exhausted, after overperforming, all these things that I'm telling you right now. I had to learn that staying in an energy that was not designed for me was making me sick. It was causing me to have hormonal issues, all of these things. And when I learned to live in my right brain energy, which is my authentic energy, my feminine energy, and lean into the masculine energy, the structure, the systems, and all the other things that I need to have for myself. That is when I begin to excel and soar in business. If you are a woman in business, the balance is required. If you too much in your feminine, you're going to be lazy. If you too much in your masculine, you're going to be rigid. You can't do that. You need the balance of both, which is what I support my clients with, achieving the balance of both because you need both. One you live in, the other one you lean in. Okay? So it's very important in that space. Power does not scream. All right? Power does not scream. Power doesn't beg. Power doesn't burn itself out. It doesn't burn itself to be seen. It moves with intention and it is, how can I say it? It's felt in silence. She said, yes, baby, I can't wait for this class. Yes, class is going to be amazing. I love leaving people in silence. I really love leaving men in silence. But I love leaving people in silence. You can't make me fill up a conversation. See, those women who when it gets quiet and you feel like you need to, well, how can I say this? Fill up the conversation with words. Thank you, my love. Thank you so much, Mel. Me feeling like I need to, if you feel like you have to, fill up the conversations with words because it got an awkward silence. Let the silence get awkward. I love to just sit there and look. Because one of the things that I've realized specifically when it comes down to men, um, when you get quiet, they start talking. They start talking. And if you let them talk, they'll tell you everything you need to know about them. And I like that. See, people will do that in general, but men love to really, really talk. If they want to impress you, they like to talk. So, overperformers, see, again, we're going back to overperformance. Overperformers love to they love to overshare. Little Miss Oversharer is connected to Little Miss Overperformer because she's got to share what she's done, what she's performed, She got to share about the act, right? Learn how to sit in silence. That's how you keep your power. I love to sit in silence and just look. See, when you say something crazy, before I even respond, if I'm going to respond, you're going to feel the shift in my energy, and I'm just going to look. And the look that I'm going to give you is going to be just very clear, very eye contact, very direct. And it's going to make you want to check yourself. It's going to make you feel uncomfortable. It's the feeling that people get if you standing there and you talking to them for a long time and you just start looking at their forehead. See, now they looking at, see, y'all don't know how to keep power because you got to get the last word in. You think, and I'm going to tell you something, a lot of us think that violence is power. Only in some elements. That's not the only form of power. A lot of power isn't seen, which is why the majority of the world is under a spell anyway. Let's get into it. That's why a lot of the world is under the spell of witchcraft, because a lot of you cannot recognize real power because you can't see. You can't see and you can't hear. So therefore you can't do. See, power is not force. It's not the same thing. It's subtle. Exactly. They use force. They use violence. They use coercion. They use tricks. They use most power is in force. It's not. See, it's not the one with the knife running towards you that you should be super super afraid of, because you see that coming. You got time to prepare. You got time to get out the way. You got time to grab a weapon. You got time to do this. You got time to do that. But the one you can't see, the one you should be afraid of, is the one who is naked but giving you a shirt. Put this shirt on. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these comments and these likes. Put this shirt on. You cold? Why they don't have a shirt on? Why they don't have a jacket on? But they want to give you a jacket to wear? That don't seem weird to you? That don't seem strange? I'm just saying. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. Put a fire emoji in the comments if you are going to be choosing precision over performance or over pressure and performance. Put a fire emoji in the comments for me, because you got to be done performing if you're really ready to lead differently. You got to be done. You have to be done with the overperformance. It's not serving you. It's not moving you ahead. That's why overperformance doesn't get you promoted. Never forget that. And I'm not talking about even a 9 to 5. I'm talking about in life. I want you to remember that. Overperformance will never, it's never going to do it. It's never going to position you for higher. It's not going to promote you. The girl who do the most for, the woman that does the most for that man is not the one that he normally wants, because you're doing everything. The person at the 9 to 5 who is volunteering for extra work is normally not the one that's promoted. It's normally the one that they end up training that gets promoted over them. Overperformance in a relationship does not guarantee you marriage. Overperformance in a marriage does not guarantee that you won't be divorced. Overperformance exhausts you. It's a trick. It's a spell that you put yourself under. It's actually the fruit of the spell that you put yourself under, because the belief is you have to overperform. And so you overperform, and the fruit is exhaustion. That is your fruit. Does it taste good? I'm sure it doesn't. It's quite draining. It's very unhealthy. That's because the seed was GMO. The belief was fake. The belief was that you had to do all of these things, and that's a lie. It tells you in Ecclesiastes that there's time for everything under the sun. Why don't you have time to do the things that you need to do for yourself? Oh, I know, it's because you're doing everything else you don't need to be doing for everyone else, trying to control the perception that you're a good person. But how is that working out for you? How are they treating the good person? How are you being treated? How are you being supported? How are people showing up for you? They're not. I get it. Because nobody, when the show is over, see, and this is the thing about performance. When the show is over, we leave. Once the show is done, We exit because there's nothing else. You performed. I don't need to see you anymore. Don't you understand that? Over performance does not get you what it is that you're looking for. What control is actually costing you? Let me talk about what control is actually costing you when it comes down to love, business, and wealth in general. The more, the more control you think you need, the more your nervous system is telling you that the world is not safe. And what do we do when we feel unsafe? We block love, we block help, we block money. Hyper independence is due to people not showing up for you and you having to do everything for yourself. And that has been your consistent reality. And because of that, you won't even hire help to delegate the service. So you'll burn yourself out your first year in business and then turn around and get mad at God and talk about why God didn't bless your business when really and truly you were supposed to delegate those tasks. But no, you just had to DIY everything, didn't you? You had to you leave the space of a 9 to 5 of being a high achiever, and you take that mindset into your business, and you exhaust yourself by being cheap, trying not to invest in things, trying to get on YouTube and learn how to do everything on your own, but then you wonder why nothing is working. You wonder why nothing is working. You're scared to delegate. You're scared to delegate. When we are unsafe, we block help. Thank you for doing this for me. Now, you done came over here and gave somebody a ride and they want to give you gas money. Now, you don't necessarily need the gas money, but you really on the deep have an issue with receiving, to the point to where when somebody gives you a compliment, oh, you look so pretty, here you go. Oh, girl, you look good too, because you want to hurry up and get it off you because you don't like the attention being on you because you don't really know how to receive. Hey, my love, you don't know how to receive. And because you don't, thank you, my love, for these gifts, because you don't know how to receive, you reject when people try to bless you. You reject when people try to support you. You reject that in the name of being a good person. Girl, grow up. You ain't being good to yourself. The scripture tells you are to love your neighbor as you love yourself. You don't love yourself. You claim you love your neighbor, though. Beware of the naked man who offers you a shirt. Okay? Yes, it is. Say thank you without feeling like you feeling obligated to do more or to do something else. Just allow yourself to receive. Y'all are so uncomfortable receiving. Extremely. Extremely. So let's talk about what happens when we block love, we block money, we block help. Intimacy dies when everything has to go your way. Support dries up when you micromanage everyone around you. You got a word for everybody but yourself. You can tell everybody what they need to be doing with their life, but you can't, behind closed doors, you having breakdowns. Money stalls when your strategy is fear based and not vision based. That's what happens. That's what happens. I'm going to say it again. What is this costing you? Intimacy dies when everything has to go your way. Support dries up when you micromanage everyone around you. Money stalls when your strategy is fear based and not vision based. Without a vision, the people will perish. And it also tells you to write the vision down and make it plain. Here's the thing that where people are messing up. You know why a lot of marriages fail and a lot of businesses fail and a lot of friendships fail? It's because there was no vision. See, you got together because you feel like you love somebody, because you believe love is a feeling. So you married them based on love solely. Your feeling, no, not actual love and action, because love is actually an action word. Love is actually a choice. Love is actually an action. But you got married because the feeling of love, and there was no vision for your marriage. And because there was no vision for your marriage, you have nothing that you guys are working towards. And it tells you in scripture, without a vision, the people will perish. So the marriage is perishing because you're not working towards something. Because let me tell you something, a lot of y'all get married to the men instead of getting married to the mission, and that's your problem. See, that's your big problem. You married to the man and not the mission. Do you know the man gonna piss you off? Do you know you gonna piss that man off? Do you know he gonna get on your nerves? Do you know you're not gonna like him? Do you know that? But see, there's still a mission that needs to be taken care of. But no, you can't see past your feelings because ain't no vision. And without a vision, the people will perish. And y'all wonder why people out here eating each other alive. Let me tell you something. Oh, you want to collaborate with somebody in business? Oh, okay. What's the vision? What's the overall vision? Oh, y'all just getting together. Okay, and when it doesn't work in business because there was no vision, then you want to be mad and be like somebody did something. You getting together with these people and y'all friends just because it's a good vibe for y'all to hang out. There's no vision for your friendship. There's no nothing. And because of that, you wondering why your friendships keep perishing. Without a vision, the people will perish. People gonna piss you off. You're gonna piss people off. Like, what's wrong with y'all? You don't realize that? What is the overall goal? See, the reason why you want to know the truth. See, now I'm about to really get into it. You know why we really can't get together as a community, as a people? You want the truth of why? What it really is? Y'all don't know how to work with people you don't like because you don't know how to stay focused on the vision and the mission to get things done. No, you don't like this personality trait. So you two, again, you self-centered. You think everything revolves around you, and that's your problem. Hey, my love, that's your issue. You think everything revolves around you so much to where you can't focus on what we need to actually get done because you don't like this person over here, because you don't like this. Anybody that you are around 24/7, you ain't gonna like them at some point. What is wrong that we don't understand this? It has to be your why for getting married has to be bigger than you want to have babies and bigger than I love you and bigger than I want to be married. What are you building? What is the legacy? Going in business has to be bigger than, oh, I want to make six figures. What is the legacy? When you die, what's up with that business? Where's going? What's happening? What's the game plan? Y'all are not thinking beyond yourself. Your why ain't big enough. Your why ain't big enough. You can't be like, oh, I'm going. If you say you're going to break generational curses, then do that for real. Because the plan that we are doing is ridiculous. This is why you continue to get your feelings hurt over and over and over and over again. Because without a vision, every experience you have, you keep perishing. You don't even have a vision for when y'all go out. See, let me just keep it all the way. You know why a lot of y'all, like, y'all go out talking about something. I want to go out so I can meet men. I never go out and say, I want to go out because I want to meet men. Never. I always say, I want to go out and do something and have a great time. So I'm going to go to an experience that's going to give me a great that's going to enhance my vibrational state because it's already high. I'm going to go in spaces that's going to make it higher, which is going to radiate me even more. I'm going to have a great time. And that's my focus. And every time I had that mindset, I meet somebody every time because I'm not looking. See, when you're looking for something, that means it's lost. Love is never lost with me. I'm surrounded. I am love. I'm a walking love letter. So I'm always surrounded. It's always going to find its way back to me. See, when you are out here looking for things and just trying to control the atmosphere, girl, I'm gonna go do this so I can do that. You never get what it is that you're looking for. You need to release the need to control everything. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these comments and these likes. Like, let it go. Let it go. This is what happens when you choose true power. Thank you, my love, for these gifts and these likes. You attract respect without demanding it. You stop leaking energy into things that don't multiply. See, that's a really big thing. I want us to stop leaking energy into things that don't multiply and stop putting yourself in crazy positions with things that do multiply. You'll lay down with somebody and get pregnant and multiply and have a child, but you won't stop giving your energy into spaces that's not serving you. Because you don't have an investor mindset. Your mindset is not my time is an investment, my energy is an investment, my attention is an investment. No, you just think your money is an investment, and you barely think that. Because if we really took a look at what you really invest your money in, it's going to tell a story. It's going to tell a story. So we need to start telling the truth. Stop leaking energy into things that don't multiply. If you're not getting a return on your investment, what are you doing? Stop moving from survival and start moving from a space of strategy. See, everybody want to be a queen, but don't nobody want to rule for real. You want to be treated like a queen and a princess, but you don't want to rule for real. Do you understand that even queens and princesses have responsibilities? Do you understand that? Do you understand that? Now, I personally, if I had to choose a position, I would always choose the queen. And I understand that people say, oh, I would choose the princess and da 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 da. And that's cool. And I'm not mad at it. But princesses have responsibilities too, sweetheart. And princesses have to follow strict guidelines and orders, darling, to be able to stay in the space of princess treatment. But when you step into the element of deciding that you want to rule, and when you step into the element and understanding that you want your queenship, because you understand that you being the queen in this game of life called chess, or game of chess called life, you can move anywhere you want to move. All you have to do is be strategic, intentional, and move like your next move is your best move. But see, that's too hard for a lot of women because that will require you to grow up. And growing up means that you have to make some real decisions. All praises, sis. Thank you. So women don't want to make a lot of decisions. And making decisions is where your power lies. Force is not power. Control is not power. It is exhaustion. It is a mask. Because you have no real power. You lead from a throne, not a to-do list. Okay? Control is a trauma pattern that's rooted in fear. What are you really afraid of? You really got to start asking yourself that the minute you feel like you need to hold on to something so tight, you need to remember that control is a trauma response and it's fear. What are you so afraid of? Power is a trained skill. Power is a trained skill. Save that question for me, love. I'm almost done and I'm going to answer that one for you. I know it was you and Mel had a question. Okay? Here's what you need to understand. Like I said, control is a trauma pattern and power is a trained skill. And if you're stepping into quarter 2 as a leader and you have no emotional mastery, you are literally building your success on a shaky foundation. And that's dangerous. I wouldn't want to build no shaky business or have no shaky business or have no shaky ministry or have no shaky anything in 2025 and beyond. I just wouldn't want to do that. I think that's very dangerous for you to do that to yourself. Here are the consequences that are going to happen if you don't. Okay, let's get into it. So let me tell you what happens when you don't stop performing and start leading from power. Number one, emotionally, you're going to keep circling around high functioning and low key falling apart. Okay, you're going to be in between those two. You're going to seem like you're really, you heard of high functioning anxiety? Y'all heard of that? You heard of people saying that? Yeah, I have, or people. A lot of people have said that. A lot of those people who say I'm high functioning anxiety, they low key are falling apart behind closed doors. They function very well in spaces like work. See, structured spaces where they're coming, even though they hate it, they can come into structured spaces and obey. They can obey the rules and everything and get all this done and perform really high at work. And when they get home, they crashing out. They're crashing out. That's what's going to continue to happen. If you don't stop performing and start leading from a space of power, your nervous system is going to stay locked into the mode of survival, which is going to make rest even feel unsafe. And it's going to make success feel like pressure. This is why you're scared of success. You're scared of success. See, a lot of y'all are scared of success. A lot of you are scared of success because you believe that If you make too much money, a man is not going to like you. I've seen it. So you will shrink yourself down in order to be liked. You will shrink yourself down, and because it feels like too much pressure. You'll be afraid of success, but in reality, you're afraid of loss, and you're afraid of responsibility that comes with that. Relationship wise, you'll continue to attract people who expect you to do it all because you keep proving that you will. Let me tell you some of the most annoying type of women to encounter, and I'm gonna be very honest with you, are the ones who will complain about the person that they choose to be with, about how they won't help them, but then will turn around and do everything, just everything. And then they say, well, if I don't do it, nobody gonna do it. If I am in a scenario and I am doing my part, if we have a group project and I'm playing my position, I'm doing my part, and you not doing your part, I'm not doing your part too. We just don't work well together. The best way to figure that out is especially before you try to lay down with them. Because what we doing? Y'all be laying down with folks and don't like. That's a whole nother conversation. That's a whole nother conversation. But if I know that I do well in a group project because I do my own work, I'm not going to be with someone who does not do their own work. And I'm not going to do their work just for the sake of it being done. To hell with that. That's overperformance. There are a lot of married women who are out here overperforming in your own house, complaining about how you don't have support. But you don't have support because it's not a requirement for anybody else to do anything, because they know you're going to do everything anyway. So they just need, and all it's going to take, you're going to do a little complaining, you're going to do a little whining, but you ain't finna shake nothing. You ain't going nowhere. You ain't finna put no fear in nobody. Ain't nobody scared of you. You don't hold true to your boundaries, so they don't care what you say. So they keep treating you the way they treat you because they know you gonna take it. They know you got it. You gonna cover the tab because you got it. That's what they're looking for. Also, relationally, intimacy will stay shallow. Support is going to feel unavailable to you, and respect will feel transactional. You will only feel like people respect you as if you're doing something for them, which you will continue to do and do and do, and they will continue to disrespect you. Financially, you will build your business and career on urgency, burnout, and emotional consistency. You're going to repel wealth, and wealth is something that comes with ease. And you're only going to attract income that matches your level of stress. I just got to get this money by tomorrow. This is it right here. I just got to make enough money to pay my bills. That's why you're not hitting $25,000 months. Because all you keep saying, and there's power of life and death in the tongue, all you keep saying is, I just need enough money to be able to pay my bills. I just need six figures. I just need to make $100,000. Do you understand $100,000 is now basically the poverty line? Y'all okay? And where did you get this $100,000 program from? Because you didn't grow up saying that. Where did you get that from? You listening to society. I blame the pandemic. See, you was listening to people when they was telling you need to make this six figures in 2020 and six figures in 2025 ain't the same thing, sweetheart. And if we're talking about low end six figures, you limit yourself by the things that you say, but you limit yourself due to your programming. You don't have an abundant mindset. You don't have an expansive program on the inside of your mind. You see, I just need to make $100,000. That's what I keep hearing a lot of millennials cry about. I just need to get to $100,000. That ain't enough. And you feel like you need to get that because you're still running off the old program, even though you know this man just said that if you making less than $385,000, you're cooked. And you talking about this one because you still running on the old program, you're going to attract income that matches your stress every single time. And no matter how much you overperform, you still ain't going to get that six that you're looking for, because it does not come from overperformance. You will continue to under earn and over deliver, and you will be stuck in cycles of high output where you're doing all of this and low satisfaction. Low satisfaction. satisfaction. The world has equated wealth to material, period, gain, and when it's much deeper than that. It's so much deeper than that. And of course, if y'all join me, you know I talk about the 5 pillars of true wealth. If you're gonna build generational wealth, do it right. Don't be out here lying. I'm a cycle breaker. I'm building generational wealth. Let me know if you're building in these 5 categories right here. Number one, financial resources. Yeah, I got my life insurance. Oh, okay, bet. What about emotional fulfillment? Are you emotionally fulfilled? We understand that children do what we do. They don't do what we say. So are you a walking, living example of fulfillment yourself? Are you, is that your goal? Is that the vision? Because emotional fulfillment is required. That's an aspect of wealth. Oh, I'm sorry. What about time freedom? Do you own your time or are you a slave to a system? Because 9 times out of 10, your child is going to follow their train unless they figure something else out. So you may leave them a whole bunch of money, but if they're not emotionally fulfilled, they may trick out their money trying to get friends. And if they don't understand how to buy back their time, then they won't make the right investments. So they won't have their time freedom that they're looking for. Oh, and what about healthy relationships? Got any of those around? Or do you and your messy friend just sit around and drink and talk about people and that's the reality of what they know? So they're going to trick their money off to their friends and go do the same thing. Oh, is there any growth and purpose going on in your life where they see you make investments in elevating your life experience and the quality of your life? Do they see that from you so they understand the power of investment? No? So you mean to tell me we only have financial resources? We have no emotional fulfillment. We have no time freedom. We have no growth and purpose. And we have no healthy relationships. And you believe that you're building generational wealth? Find you somebody to play with and please don't piss me off. Your children going to blow their money. You leaving them a check. You ain't left them no skills. The scripture tells you that a good father leaves, and we're talking about parents here, but a good father leaves an inheritance for his children. The inheritance is not just in the money, baby. Money wasn't even existing back then. So what you think they were talking about? They were giving them resources, assets, and wisdom was being passed down. Wisdom. And you giving them none. Talking about you building generational wealth because you leaving them insurance policy. Please don't piss me off with that. That's it? Child, why you okay. Energetically, if you stay in the space of continuing to perform instead of operating from a space of powerful precision, you will become the woman who looks powerful but feels empty. Everybody will be clapping for you. Girl, you started a business, girl this, girl that, and you going home and you stressed out. You crashing out behind closed doors. You will lose. You ever see, let me tell you, women have 2 choices. Okay? Hey, my love, women have 2 choices in this life. As you age, you either become bitter or you become better. But let me tell you something. If you are a woman who is an overperformer, let me tell you the direction that you're going in. You're going to lose your softness the more you perform. Because you're going to get tired of people not being there for you no matter how much you perform. You're going to lose your magnetism. You're going to lose your creativity. And you're going to lose your joy, all for the illusion of control, of controlling the narrative of making it seem like you got it all together. And eventually you're going to wake up successful, but still not feel safe. This is why people who end up getting a whole lot of money, they get real paranoid. They get real scared. They don't trust nobody. They still not satisfied. They still searching. And because of that, see, that's when they start getting in that deviant, demonic stuff. That's when they really start digging because they ain't got nothing else to do. And an idle mind, we in trouble. Idle mind and a lot of money. And no vision. Thank you, my love, for these gifts. You got a lot of money, you ain't got no vision. Without a vision, the people gonna perish. Control is not power. Control is exhaustion in a disguise. And the real power, it doesn't chase, it doesn't force, it doesn't micromanage. It just is. It just is. If you don't want to continue to build on a shaky foundation going into Q2, this is your opportunity to be able to shift that. I'm having a master class, a 2-day master class. It's called The Heart and the Throne. It's a 2-day leadership intensive. If you're done letting your emotions and reacting, all of that, if you're done letting that run your business, run your boundaries, run your bodies, you need this reset. This is not no, oh, we just having a mindset class. Sweetheart, we're going to do a cellular reset. I'm going to help you rewire your brain. And if you're wondering what my track record is and why I feel that I'm so confident that I would be able to rewire your brain, I don't know. Let's start with the fact that I've done it for myself and I've done it for over hundreds of women. But let's just use me for an example. I used to be 100 pounds heavier. Let's start there. I used to have polycystic ovarian syndrome. I was one of the first ones when they were nobody talking about it in 2004. They were diagnosing it with me, to me, diagnosing me with it at 20 years old. Okay. All those things have been reversed. I used to be extremely burnt out. I used to be extremely exhausted. I used to be extremely just everywhere, all over the place. And all of those things shifted. And all of that took rewiring my mind. And how have I supported other women in doing the same type of work? Clients have come to work with me, have gone from zero to almost 15K in less than 30 days. Women have come to me and doubled and tripled their income. Men have come to me and been able to triple their income. And I don't even really work with men. I did that as a test. Okay. The class is $297 for those two days, and you can get it with client affirm and afterpay. I have helped my clients reverse health issues. One in particular, my client corrected her A1C. She reversed her liver damage. I have another client who reversed her heart damage. Both of those clients combined have lost 100 pounds. One of them has lost 60. I think she's going into 70. And the other one has lost over 40. Women who come to work with me master their emotions. They get ahead of that money. And then they also get themselves together. They get that health together. So if you are a woman who is tired of being ruled by your emotions, because all of these things are your emotions. You emotionally eat. That's because you lack control of your emotions. You impulsively spend because you lack control of your emotions. That's what's going on. So if you really want a cellular reset and you are ready to do your work, thank you, my love, for these comments. I'm going to screenshot these. Y'all are so sweet. I appreciate y'all. If you are ready to really do your work, then click the link in the bio and go ahead and get access. You're going to get an email that's going to be sent to you. It is a 2-day leadership intensive. I'm not playing. It's serious. Let me tell you the things that we're going to be going over, because I want you to be really clear. Okay. We're going over the pillars, the 4 pillars, because here are the things that we need to. I just said April K here fast enough. I'm crying. So here are the things that, well, let me tell you this too. Let me tell you who it's for, because I don't think I've done that. This is for women of wealth and influence who refuse to let emotional reactivity block their next level. This is for entrepreneurs, executives, and visionaries who need a structured leadership framework to sustain their success. Because it's one thing to get a business, but it's a different thing to keep it. Okay. This is for women who are tired of burnout cycles and inconsistent execution. This is for women who know this is the season. This season requires strategy and not survival mode. Thank you so much for these gifts. If you've been operating from overthinking, burnout, or emotional reactivity, then this is your reset. This is where you step into the full form of mastery. So here are the things that we're going to go over. I'm going to give you day 1, and then I'm going to give you day 2. Thank y'all so much for these likes, these gifts, and these comments. Okay. Hey, Delilah. Delilah said, yes, invest in her classes. They are life changing. Thank you so much. Delilah has been in several of my classes. She's absolutely amazing, and she's gotten some results herself. So day 1, this is what we're going to go over. Okay. Number 1, the power structure, the foundations of true leadership, why reactive women can't sustain success. And this goes into life, business, and relationships. Everything I teach you, you can apply across the board, because normally how you do one thing is how you do all things. And if you reset your energetic space, if you hit the reset button on your magnetism, it's going to shift everything else. Okay. You're going to learn the 4 pillars of power: spiritual, artificial, mental, and emotional intelligence. You're going to learn the science of emotional mastery and regulation. You're going to learn how to make intelligent and strategic decisions that align with your highest level. You're going to learn how to create systems that support your next level success. You're going to leave with a personal audit of your leadership gaps and a strategy to shift it immediately. You're going to get that the same day. That is day 1. Day 2 is execution and embodiment, the strategy for quarter 2 and beyond. This is you mastering the inner and outer game of leadership, how to leverage AI and technology without losing your feminine intelligence. You don't need to be using AI to outsource your consciousness. You use it to save time. I'm going to teach you more about that. Okay. The third thing is that you're going to learn how to create sustainable influence, wealth, and authority. You're also going to get the emotional mastery execution plan to ensure that you are leading with power and not pressure. Okay. You're going to also get your personal throne strategy for quarter 2, which is how to step into April prepared, aligned, and unstoppable. You're going to walk away with mastery in the area of emotional intelligence, a Q2 personal strategy, the ability to make high level decisions under stress, and a new standard of leadership. All of these things are going to be vital and important. We are not just teaching you strategy and structure, we are resetting everything in your energy around your authority, because that is what you're going to need to stand in. I told you guys for the last 2 years, the World Economic Forum stated that the creator economy was going to be like high level billions. I want to say it's like 500 billion. Okay. Where is your piece of that pie? What are you doing to prepare? They're going to be looking for people who are authentically standing out. Those people are going to be the ones that grab in, but the ones who know how to stay in the game and sustain are the ones with the inner and outer systems. It's the ones who don't fold under pressure. It's the ones who are not overly emotional. Okay? You cannot be an overly emotional leader. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work. You cannot be a dictating type of leader where you're trying to control every aspect. The best leaders, as you see, the feminine is truly rising. And if you learn how to live in your authentic energy and lean in your left brain energy, then you will be able to sustain what it is that you are building, no matter what that looks like. Whether that is a relationship, whether that is life, whether that is business. Sustainability and longevity are required. Okay? Thank you, my love. Any questions? You can click the link in the bio to be able to get access to that. Like I said, it's $297. I've seen a couple of people have purchased. Congratulations. I don't have a lot of tickets for that particular leadership intensive because it's very serious. And I'm also going to be talking about some other things in there that I'm going to save for that specific community of women that are going to be in that space. So if you're tired and you want to sustain what you're building, because like I said, what you need to remember about recessions is this. There are three groups in the recession. Group A, those are the receivers. Those are those who know how to make the most of those opportunities that are being presented to them. Okay. Those are the ones who are ready. Those are the ones who got oil in their lamp. See, they ready to go. Then there are the receivers, and then there are the deceived. Those are the ones that pay attention to fear mongering content and information. Those are the ones who are led by their impulses. Those are the ones who lack emotional intelligence and emotional mastery. So they're easily ruled and by their fickle feelings. And those are the ones that are going to succumb to a lot of the different things that are happening out here in the world. And then there's the last group. We have the receivers, we have the deceived, and then we have the deceivers. The ones who are actually using their fear mongering content, the ones who are actually out here poisoning people's mind to get them to become impulsive. You need to figure out which group you in, and you need to figure it out quickly, because you really only got 30 minutes. Y'all think people have been losing their jobs and things have been going on and all this different kind of stuff. Sustainability, if you are working a 9 to 5 and you got that business and you ain't building that business out and you don't have that much time. Nothing is going to get cheaper. I told y'all that 2 years ago, and here we are. Nothing is going to get cheaper. And stop limiting yourself to this $100,000 mark. Y'all, especially if you live in the States. Y'all heard what was said, $385,000. That's real. It sounds like a lot of money when abundance is not real in your mind. It's not a lot of money though. It's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money when you break it down to the point of all you need is 10 people or 10 companies to pay you $38,000. But see, you so scary, you don't think you have anything in you that anybody would pay you $38,000. And that's your problem. You don't have a money problem, sweetie. You don't have a sustainability problem. You don't want to raise those prices. See, you scared people are not going to buy in. Your client is always ready to buy. Your ideal client is already ready to buy and already has the resources, already is prepared to buy what it is that you're offering, but your belief is keeping you from speaking. Your belief is keeping you from actually saying, this is my price point. You want to give them a discount. Don't piss me off. Discount for what? You're not discounting the work that you put into it, but you want to discount you're not discounting the experience. What are you doing? Stop trying to control the narrative of being the person that's affordable and this and that. Can you afford to live? See, now that's really what's gonna piss me off. Can you afford to live, not only live, but thrive, do the things you want to do? If you can't, then you need some strategy. You need some things in place. You need some sustainability. You need to get your heart together so you can really rule the throne. Because you need to understand that you were given creative and witty inventions in your very being according to scripture. What are you doing with them? If they're not making room for you, then what are you actually doing? Really? How are you living? How are you thriving? Okay? What questions do you guys have for me? Drop them in the comments. I'm going to take a few before I get ready to go. Thank y'all so much for coming to um, emotional intelligence class. But drop your comments. Congratulations to those who have purchased classes. You will get emails within the hour welcoming you to class. On the first and the second, like I said, this class is for women who are ready to do something different. This ain't for the ones who still want to be fickle in their feelings. I'm not for you. I'm not. I'm not for you, babe. It's true telling over here. If you really want that work, women don't come over here and get the results they get from working with me by just sitting around. That ain't how that works. We go deep and we dig. Transformation is the name of the game. Here's the truth. Here's the reality. You either transform or you conform. Choose your master. Choose your player. You either transform or you conform. That's it. And it tells you that in scripture. You are supposed to not be conformed to the things of this world, but transformed by the daily renewing of your mind. Daily renewing of your mind is to upgrade your belief. To upgrade your belief is to do a cellular reset. And that's what we're gonna be doing in this class. So if you're tired of talking about it and you want to sustain, click the link in the bio so that you can get access to the class. The class is called the Heart and Throne 2-Day Leadership Intensive. You can click it, read all about it, scroll all the way down, and grab your ticket. It is for women leaders. Come in there serious because I have some great things for you. It is going to be an extremely, extremely powerful class. So if you are lacking left brain, or let me say this, if you are in a space where you are lacking the ability right now to lean into left brain energy and live in feminine energy, this is going to support you in that space because this is going to provide you with the structure necessary. The masculine, like we talked about this before, line. You think about line, you think about order, you think about direction, you think about structure. That's why it's masculine. Okay, so those are the things that are needed: structure, order, direction, in order for you to flourish in your feminine, even when it comes down to business. So these are the things that you're going to need. Make sure that you join me in class. Congratulations again to those who will be joining me in class. I'm really excited about it. So click the link in the bio to be able to get access. I don't see any questions. So I am about to get off here. I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing day. Yes, this is going to be going up on YouTube. Click the link in my bio to be able to subscribe to my YouTube channel. We can get all this great information, and click the link in the bio to be able to access any of the other courses and different things like that to elevate and enhance self. Okay, because in this space right now, y'all need to be ready. Y'all need to be ready. You're welcome. Y'all need to be ready for what is coming. And a lot of people are not ready because you don't have no skills. And emotional mastery and emotional intelligence is a skill set, baby. And if you ain't got it, I don't know what y'all gonna do. Be crashing out. I wouldn't want to crash out though with computerized prisons on the rise. But I'm just saying. But all right, y'all, I'm gonna go on and go. I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing day. Peace and love to you. Make sure that you take care of yourself. Please, please, please. Self-care is the key fundamental of every single relationship. And you set the tone of how people treat you by the way you treat yourself. So you should treat yourself exceptionally well because you deserve it. Unless you don't believe in deserving it, baby. I'm not going to argue with your own perception, but I would hope that you would think better for yourself. Okay? All right, y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing, amazing day. Peace, y'all.